Hey guys, welcome to day number 2 of the NaDa Deep Dive. I hope that the hype has helped to get you excited, or maybe just your viewing experience and knowledge of the scene in the past has done that. I am still super pumped. I actually, after watching that first game and the kind of novel way that NaDa dealt with the Proxy 2 gate, that really got me thinking, and I'm very excited. I'm gonna definitely try that next time I get Proxy 2 gated. Not that that's as common a build when you get up higher. Definitely lower on, I think you'll see that more often, but it might be something you guys can get into your own play. Yeah, I feel like, how often do I get Proxy 2 gated? It's like once a month, maybe. I play a lot of games. It's not that common. It was actually years ago when I was much weaker. It happened much more often, like so often. But yeah, definitely don't see it too much anymore. Anyways, this is NaDa talking to the guy. This guy's ID is ggclan. I guess he's just part of that clan. I try to look him up. No AKAs that I can find. And, he is like a high A, low S type MMR player. So yeah, he's just one of those guys that's kind of in and out, probably. He might have other IDs as well. I don't know. He definitely plays a lot of games on his account and everything. But yeah, that's him down here. And they're just having a little bit of a conversation, not really paying too much attention to that. But we're on Radeon. So, Radeon is a really fun map, a really well-made map. TVP here can be pretty interesting. Although, at this point, I've been talking up Radeon for a long time. I do think it's one of our best maps, and it should stay in the pool for a long time. I think it's a good midway point between a map like Deja Vu and a map like Polestar. I think Polestar is much more interesting than Radeon. Radeon is super standard. And then Deja Vu is almost too little. Like, not too little size-wise, but like those maps, those 12-base maps, 4-player 12-base, well, it's technically 13 because you have the center, and that actually really helps the map. If it was only 12, it would be a terrible map. But because there is a center, maybe it's a little bit better because of that. But yeah, those, I don't know. I'm generally a little bit annoyed by those, but they're good maps to have in because it really changes the way you play, right? Like Fighting Spirit, Retro, Deja Vu, it's just the next in line of that type of less resource intensive maps. And it seems like all of them actually have that center base too, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, so NaDa does pick off that probe. It was a fast scout there. They both scout each other first. First Dragoon coming out. When you scout your opponent first, it allows you a lot more flexibility as Terran, because whether they have a Zealot or not. Because the Zealot just kind of changes the math on everything. Like, if you don't scout him first, you have to account for the fact that he might hit you with the Zealot Dragoon probe at the same time, which absolutely wipes the floor with 3 Marines Vulture. Like, you have to be super careful if they attack well with that. But, scouting there first, it's like, yeah, you can literally just go 3 Marines Vulture, send your SCV back in, see if he chases you, see he's chasing. So it's like, okay, well, the bunker can be delayed at this point if you want, but you probably still should make it. And we'll see what NaDa chooses to do with that. And he does get that bunker down. It's right after the supply depot and machine shop and getting the additional guys on gas. I'm actually saying some of this out loud because I'm just like making sure. I'm like, okay, this lines up perfectly with what I do. Okay. It's fun when, the last deep dive we did was a false Jehun. So it was rich, right? And for something like that, like, I enjoy doing it, but there's not like a lot for me as a Terran player to take back into my play, other than try not to hit one of Rich's 4,000 IDs on the ladder. But watching this, it's like, okay, well, let's see how our play lines up and what he does differently, right? So NaDa did go mines here into Siege Tank, into Second Factory. And like here, oh, wow, that's a very fast engineering bay. That's very, very fast. So this tells me that he's unsure whether or not this will be DT. So, but hold on, I'm trying to think back. When he sent the SCV back, he saw the Nexus. The odds of this being DT are almost 0. Like, and the thing is, even if it is DT, the fact that he's laying these mines here, you don't need this quite yet. You know, like, this is, if you lay mines in front, if you saw the Nexus and you lay in the next set of normal time, that's like between 305, 310 or 315, right? Right in that area, and you lay mines in front, you don't need to get this until about 5 minutes, 30 seconds. So, you know, obviously things can go wrong and crazy stuff can happen. Maybe NaDa was getting DT rushed a lot lately or something. I'm not sure. But that's a very fast missile turret. Very, very careful play. Which you can't, you know, here's the thing, right? Like, I think I talked about this a little bit lately. It's like, okay, this is what we would call an inaccuracy, right? Like, if we take some chess terminology, which I think we should for StarCraft, because we don't have good terminology. Partially my bad, sorry. But, like, these turrets at this time are an inaccuracy. But not having them when you need them is a blunder and you lose. So I don't want to, like, overstate anything about that. Now, ggclan is taking a nice, fast third base. This is a very well timed with 2-gate observer, and he's going right into reaver afterwards. This has been the most popular Protoss vs. Terran opener for quite some time now. Now, NaDa's build here is... This is kind of interesting because he's going for a 4 siege tank push. It's almost always 3. But he's going for 4, and he's already got good missile turrets up. Very interesting the way he's trying to play this. Now, this crushes this. It's not even close. Obviously, you have to come up, and you have to kind of be ready for it. He's following it with the observer. I think he's just waiting for some more vultures to come down. He's almost got speed. He's almost got siege. Because, like, right now, these 2 vultures don't have mines, so they're not actually that helpful. They'll help take off some shields, maybe absorb a few shots, but you want to be able to lay a few mines during the battle as well. But this is, like, I haven't seen anyone do a move like this in a really long time. It's almost always a faster push of 3 siege tank. And it makes a big difference if you're waiting for 4. So he sieges up. Huh. Counterattack with these Dragoons. He is bringing up the observer. Oh, geez. Loses a goon right there to the mine. Has lost a couple already in this situation. And, you know, he actually has some siege tanks coming up. Now, NaDa's going to kill this third base. Where ggclan is actually just pushing through. Dude, this is very interesting. What a strange position we're opening up with here. Now, there's a Reaver going back as well. He actually brings up his vultures to help fight. We have the +1 going now as well. The SCVs are all on the high ground, so he's going to be able to clear this. But this coming up is going to be a huge problem. So he drops off a couple of Zealots here while everything's getting cleaned, and he's going to kill both these siege tanks super fast. The goons are all going to go down. Okay, right now, I actually do put NaDa ahead. But we'll see what this Reaver ends up getting done. He actually should just kill the turret, I think, too. Looks like he's really focused on getting that siege tank. Okay, the Zealot is going to be able to clear that turret, so that gives him a little bit more wiggle room for how to go around with this shuttle and Reaver. Oh, doesn't get a shot off there. I don't know if he had... No, I don't know why that glitched like that. Maybe just some miscontrol. Should have had one more Scarab off, though. And I think this drop is basically done now. Now, he's pulling back the 2 tanks. You know, this is a very common thing if your opponent is out pushing like that. You don't want vultures just rotating in while you're microing units. So you just build a pylon and then kill it afterwards. Definitely worth not potentially losing the game over a bunch of probe kills. Some good missile turret placement, going up to 5 factories right now. The 5 factories are obviously a little bit late, but it's been a crazy hectic game. New third base here for ggclan. So NaDa is up by 5 workers. He's actually adding more missile turrets, which I love to see. This is an anti-reaver siege tank. He's zoning a little bit with this Goliath. Okay, here comes... Yeah, he's going to just blow this up right away. That's very smart. That was a good move. Really good move to blow that up. You're basically buying time with this, getting a little bit of damage. Ooh, he almost loses that reaver. A little bit late on that pickup. 4th Nexus coming down. I actually think that this is exactly how ggclan should be playing. It looks very, very good to me, the way that he's approaching this right now. NaDa? Yeah, I like how he's approaching as well, right? Like, he's got his comm stats up. He added more missile turrets, so he's playing it really, really carefully. There's his 3rd command center, just kind of producing Siege Tank Goliath for the most part, getting back to those vultures as he gets a count of 4 Goliaths. You know, that's exactly what you want, basically. You want to be able to 2-shot a shuttle. And now, like, we're entering into what looks like it's just going to be a solid macro game. Even though a lot of damage was dealt by NaDa into ggclan, I think the way that he's... Like, his counterplay with the Reaver was pretty good. He's still a little bit behind on workers, but he's going to be on 4 base before the 3rd base is mining, so that's really good, and that's going to kind of... I would say, you look at this position, and I'd say, okay, this is good for Terran, but it's not bad for Protoss, if that makes sense. I can't look at this and honestly say, like, oh, Protoss is screwed, because I think he greeted exactly correctly. There's a lot of situations where, like, for instance, if he had added all these gates and then added this Nexus, I would say, okay, NaDa's actually ahead for sure. But because he got this off of, like, 3 gates, he went into the 4th base off of, like, 3 gates in this very particular situation where his Reaver plus the standing army he had could hold back any pushes. Like, that's a very good read. And I think what I really like to see about this, I think that this is showing very well how strong the ladder is. Like, this is excellent decision making. We actually, you know, I cast a ton of pro Terran versus Protoss games on here, and I'll all the time I'll be like, oh, he should have added the Nexus before the gates, that type of thing. And the ladder players sometimes have certain pieces of their games that are a little bit more refined than non-ladder players, like the pros, right? Because the pros play against each other so much, so they have certain things that work, and it's like, okay, well, this is... The general thought process here is very, very good. Oh, my God. Wow, this is not going well. Very good catch there from NaDa. Ooh, he's going for the depot kills. Can he get one more? Oh, hit the wrong place. Oh, he got it. He got it. He got the 4 depots and the academy. So annoying. You can see the supply block now here for NaDa. But yeah, that was a little bit wasteful from him there. A lot of times you'll get more damage than that. One of his shuttles was very, very low, and unfortunately he dropped the Reaver while a mine was coming out. So I think that was one of the big flaws there from ggclan. But yeah, overall, very, very solid play. There's a second robo coming up, so we definitely know what his plans are for this game. He is playing that mass speed shuttle style. You're going to be pretty aggressive as far as trading goes, but NaDa is the type of player that I think will play very well against that. We've already seen that he's willing to add a few more turrets than a lot of other pros. By the way, he's gone science facility off 5 factories. And I guess this was just a really good read, because this is not a particularly fast max or anything from ggclan. Whenever you can read that you can get your 2-1 going before you get your factory count exploded, like, that's one of the most important things to be able to figure out as Terran in this matchup. Is like, okay, do I need to add those factories right now so that I don't die? Or can I get my upgrades going quicker and then add the factories afterwards? That's going to give you a much better later game, but you'll never get it to the later game if you just die to an attack. Okay, so a very good setup here from NaDa. Not a lot of missile turrets in this general area. And actually, he doesn't have zealots in these. But if he did, you know, there's a potential of maybe getting a few tank kills in there with only 1 Goliath. Well, the second one does join. 5th Nexus gets started. I love it. Yeah. I actually just got chills from that. Like, I love to see this. He gets the, you know, Nada gets his third command center down. He's getting upgrades. I think he hasn't really seen the factory count or the you know, the fact that we have another armory or anything like that. Like, he hasn't been able to see that. But he's read the situation correctly is what I'm trying to say here. Ooh, little drop from Nada getting off. Gonna get that High Templar. Yeah, I don't think you'll get too much done here, but, you know, a few probe kills here and there are nice. Nada only on 56 SCVs, 55 now. Yeah, it looks like we had a little storm in here. So does lose just a little bit of workers there. Drops happening at the same time, of course. No human can catch both of those guys, sorry. Okay, so new command center on the way, that 4th base, which is definitely the correct play because he can't get an attack off. But yeah, I love seeing great fundamentals. I think that's one of the things that really gives me chills more than anything is when someone like gets it and does something fundamentally correct. Because that's really where most of the strength comes from in StarCraft. It's probably why I have a deep hatred for stupid cheesy players. Where it's like, okay, I mean, you're peeling wins, but like, it doesn't really mean that much because it's not replicable. It's just like this random thing you kind of get lucky. Whereas you look at something like this, where like, okay, things went wrong, but he got back on track with the 4th Nexus, identifying that he didn't need the gates right away, then added the gates, and then as the 3rd was taken for Nada, got his 5th. And it's like, oh, now you're putting pressure on Nada. It's like, is Nada going to attack? Is Nada going to expand? Right? Like, you're making it a hard game for him. Like, by doing the correct things. Now, here Nada comes. Nada's coming out. He has a lot of siege tanks here, and he has those 2 on upgrades. He's just about maxed out. I actually desperately want to check the factory count. Okay, 3 add-ons, and then 5 more facts. So he's got 8 factory with 3 add-ons. Very, very good. If you can get 1 to 3 more factories, that's going to be optimal, but 8 factories, very, very good. Just nowadays, people go 9 a little bit more. It's a little bit more modern, whereas the old days, it was 8 very oftentimes. Anyways, Nada's pushing, like, really hard. I think he has to be a little bit careful because he left a bunch of his tanks back here. So he's actually going to be fighting with only a portion of his army. I can't tell you how many times I've done exactly that. But yeah, suddenly ggclan jumps on top of him, and he's going to be able to wipe this army. Now, if Nada had had these tanks down here, I think ggclan probably continues to stay back instead of engaging. Because that fight went very well for him, I would say. Like, that was definitely a good engagement for ggclan. He got to clear a lot of the tanks. So I think that was a mistake from Nada. Maybe he just didn't unsiege, like when he was going through his hotkeys trying to move quickly and chase this army down. Or maybe he thought he could push it back and get some damage on the army and it would continue to retreat. But ggclan made the right play to turn and fight there. By the way, this is sneaky as hell. Okay, Nada's sending vultures up here. This is really actually important. Yeah, and he cancels it as soon as he sees the vultures. That was very sneaky. If you get that up and you get some mines in this area, you'll win. Like, most likely. That's if you have all the corners, like 3 corners in a 4-player map as Protoss in this matchup, that's like unwinnable for Terran. It's one of the most important aspects of TVP. It's like that shifts the favor of resources too far away from Terran. And honestly, in a game like this, probably Nada's going to try to expand to the top left corner. Because I don't think there's much push potential right now. By the way, Nada's still at 54 SCVs, which is a little bit low. Little bit low. Now, we have 6 shuttles that are going to be bombing in here against him. Okay, he drops directly onto the 3rd base. And he gets some High Templars out. Doesn't really get many SCVs. He's killed like 3 SCVs. He'll get 4th, maybe a 5th. So it's not actually that much damage. Nada clears this really, really well and very efficiently. So I would say, yeah, not the greatest drop, but honestly, moves like this can still be good even when they look kind of bad. Because, look, now you don't have turrets here. And Nada had to take a lot of time to clear this up. He wasn't mining during this time. So now you have potential. It's like, okay, well, maybe you can get another storm drop here now. You've damaged some of the SCVs for sure. They're going to die quicker to storm. And in this case, he's saying, okay, some of your army is out of position. We're going to attack in. This attack, not doing that well. Ooh, that was a great D-Matrix. That was a fantastic D-Matrix from NaDa. But yeah, ggclan will pull back. That did not quite work out in his favor, that counterattack. But yeah, it opens up things like that because you know suddenly there's a bunch of army over here, that type of thing. And here's the thing about this style, guys, is this style is like the double robo, like mass shuttle, Psystorm drops, reavers, that type of thing, like big gateway army. It's a battling comp. Like, it's something that's very good at taking fights and playing like kind of a sloppy game, but it is the worst composition Protoss has for killing their opponent. Like, actually ending the game with it doesn't exist. And that's why we see +1 air weapons. So and a double cybernetics core. Because you can't actually kill him. Because, like, as you saw, right, that was 6 shuttles. And it gives him, like, a tempo advantage. And look at this. He's taking all these bases over here while getting that tempo advantage and maybe trading slightly inefficiently. But can he kill him? No. You're just... Unless you get really far ahead with it, it does not kill your opponent. Like, Terran can just build more missile turrets, spread their siege tanks, things like that, and just kind of crush. Ooh! Okay, he actually pulls back pretty well there. Now... Will NaDa identify the carrier switch? That is going to be probably the most important thing in this game, because you have to identify the carrier switch, and as he's switching to carriers, you have to go, which is tough. It is very tough to attack into this. Staying still is safety, because you're pre-spread, the storms aren't going to kill you, zealots aren't going to find your siege tanks before siege mode, that type of thing. Right? Like, you're already in a great spot and you're going to take good fights. Whereas this type of thing, if 6 speed shuttles fly over while an attack move, he's going to lose the army, right? So you have to be really careful about that. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of scans. Not sure where that one went. But yeah, it looks like 5 speed shuttles going up to this 12 o'clock base. Going to drop out some High Templars and get some storms off. Ooh. Brings NaDa down so low. 46 SCVs only. And, you know, he's going to be a little bit annoying here, make some Archons and everything. He's buying a lot of time in this area. In the meantime, NaDa did get this Nexus. There were no probes at it, so it's not the biggest loss to lose one Nexus like that. But maybe he can get another one in this time. 2 carriers are on the way. They're the first 2. The only 2 that he's making at the moment. And he's not remaxing as of yet. Okay, a lot of Zealots are being made, so... Yeah, his 12 gates are macroing at least. So he's trying to get that army back up there. Still has a very healthy Dragoon count. Not in the meantime. Starting to push down this angle. Ooh, this is an interesting push angle, actually. He's doing this to kind of zone out Protoss from running up and around this way. I like this. Takes a very strong position here. Throws down really great defense matrices. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say NaDa's using defense matrix a bit more than... most pros. I think you guys would agree. Like, defense matrix is great, everyone knows it, but he's really utilizing it a lot as opposed to like trying to hit EMPs or something. And you know, it's circumstantial. Like, EMP is more proactive and defense matrix is more reactive. So I don't want to say necessarily like he thinks it's like better or something, but he's utilizing it to really great effect so far. All right, so NaDa clears that all out. He's really low on workers. He actually needs to make some more workers here. This is very bad saturation, very, very low. This looks like a Zerg base. That's like a Protoss base. Terran bases have the most average workers. Because Protoss take a lot of bases, so theirs get spread more. See, those are like Protoss bases. It's like, yeah, I have over 1 per patch, lol. On my 7 bases or whatever. Terran bases get a little bit more highly saturated. But yeah, I would love to see him make a few more workers here. Now, the carriers have been shown before they have full interceptors. So now NaDa is turning on Goliath production. So he didn't scout them right away, but he scouted them early enough that he still has plenty of potential to win the game. Like, he's not just dead. If there's 5 carriers out and they all have interceptors when you go down there, you lose. Because they just kill like every single tank. You don't really get any damage. You're trying to switch into Goliaths, and Protoss just takes control. But now NaDa knows that. He's making non-stop Goliaths out of his 8 factories. And he's going to try to attack here. He only has a couple Goliaths in here, so this is not a great amount of anti-air. He is utilizing these siege tanks to kind of zone out any more units coming in for him. 4 carriers are out. All right, trying to attack in. What he wants to do is come in and flank this. Honestly, I'm a little sad he didn't just send his carriers down. I think his carriers could have... Well, actually, he was never going to save the Nexus, but maybe he could have started working on those tanks already. So this group of tanks will get cleared, but this was actually pretty good for NaDa, I think. Like, that was a big part of the standing army of ggclan. And that slowed him from getting up here and doing anything. I think NaDa's set up here. Like, he's trying to push up the ramp. He's trying to get the base. It's not going to happen with this carrier count, though. Let's see if we can select one here. So 1-1 upgrade so far. When the carriers are making interceptors, you can't really check. Doesn't actually have the +2 air armor on the way. I think his economy's been too stifled from NaDa's attacks. NaDa has made a few more workers now at this point. He has these additional bases. Now, the problem is that the mobility of these carriers and the strength of these carriers is getting really, really big. Now, NaDa has some stuff up the side, but what you're afraid of is the carriers will outmaneuver you and go up and start sniping command centers. And that's what he's going for here. If he can move these carriers up and get these 2 command centers, the game is his. So NaDa has to kind of zone that out. And he's bringing a bunch of Goliaths up here. He's also got to zone out the Dragoons. Oh, just barely out of range of these tanks. Oh! He actually catches them coming in. ggclan did not expect that. Pulls those Goliaths back. You can see he's bringing up the Dragoons to try to help force his way through if it's pure Goliath. And here's the thing. This can hold the Goliaths back. He could dive in, but that's where the Goliaths may be able to chase him down and kill them. You have to be careful. Like, if you were to lose these carriers, obviously NaDa will end up winning, but it's very hard to lose them. So you're going to see he's going to kind of keep those out of range. NaDa needs to bring the tanks up to try to punish this army a little bit. Now, what does he do with the carriers? You have a lot of potential here where you can dance up here, try to get the Goliaths to go around. But no, he's just fighting at the moment. But the siege tanks are starting to clear the Dragoons. So this is turning into a situation where the Goliaths need to go up here to stop these carriers. Carriers come up. Okay, we did hear 1 carrier death. The thing is, this is not actually enough Goliaths to clear all these if he's just kind of microing normally. He will get them. They're kind of coming up one at a time. Damage output on carriers is pretty insane. So he clears those Goliaths. Can he get the command center? Yeah, he definitely can if we were just looking at this as to where the Goliaths are. There are not very many out for NaDa at the moment. He is going up for that 3rd armor upgrade, producing quite a few Goliaths at the moment, but looks like he's going to go ahead and counterattack. So what you can do here, because you know where the carriers are, is you can bring all of your ground army down and then use the Goliaths in the back to stop the carriers from coming up. So where did he put them? They're just up here. Okay, he's going to hit this Nexus. So there's almost no mining happening for ggclan right now. Oh my god, that's a lot of carriers. 10 carriers at the moment. Just insane. The tanks obviously killing that ground army very, very quickly. But 10 carriers against these Goliaths is going to be rough. It is 2-1 upgrades for the carriers. And NaDa actually gets a pick there, so a little bit sloppy from ggclan. Tank's going to clear those Dragoons. At this point, you're spending all of your minerals just on interceptors. NaDa might be able to actually just do this. He might be able to force his way in. Gets a nice EMP off. But even if you EMP the carriers, so one thing, interceptors, as soon as they go back in the carriers, like once they take too much damage, they go back in and the shields get healed on the interceptors. Now, you can EMP the carriers, and obviously that does a lot of damage to them. Takes 150 off, but it's hard to hit the carriers. right? So even though you get the EMP, it's like, okay, in theory, that can really make me kill the carriers more quickly, but can I connect with the carriers is the big question. By the way, a probe up here, getting ready for the next base. I just want to show that he is mined out of everywhere except this base. And you kind of need a base to feed interceptors. Like the interceptor production, it's 25 per in StarCraft 1. You know, so the Goliaths definitely can kill the interceptors reasonably quickly and force you to put a lot of money into that. Hasn't been engaging too much, so he is able to make a few extra units there as well. I almost feel like you should send like the units over here to maybe clear like your ground units. Scan around, figure out what his ground army is, where it is, and maybe while the Goliaths are dealing with the carriers, try to kill the ground army so it can't join up later. Because like map control actually goes to NaDa right now. He's maxed out and everything. Like we just have this super cost efficient group of carriers. NaDa though coming forward, he brings his entire army with him. Definitely needs to make sure those Psy Storms don't do too much damage to his Goliaths. Okay, so NaDa, like, he's pushing this down. He wants to get this Nexus because he's got these two bases mining. So, like, if he gets this Nexus one more time, I think he'll just take it, right? Like, the only thing that you're really buying at this point are a few High Templars and Interceptors. Without being able to grow that economy a little bit more, NaDa should be able to finish him off, I think. Just through starving him out, basically. And in fact, you know, I like that NaDa's just standing here and just dealing whatever damage he can, because he's the one with all the mining bases. He's got like 3 well mining bases against 1. Yeah, GG is called. But yeah, if you try to shove your way up the ramp, that's where it could get a little bit more cost inefficient. Whereas if you're just denying bases and threatening this base, the carriers have to stay. Very intelligent play from NaDa. I think he put out a good game. The most interesting part to me in this game, well, we have a great macro game, obviously, 32 minutes. But I want to jump back here just real quick for one second. I know it's already been a very long game. And just take a look at this push, because I think what he did was he got this second add-on very quickly. Because he made a tank, started second tank, while this was still making... Yeah, so he goes add-on here then. That's how he did the 4 tank. So... generally, what we see, because you might remember that I was talking heavily about 3 tank versus 4 tank and how we don't see 4 tank pushes. This was very different, where he went like 2 vultures for the mines. Well, he went vulture tank. Wait, yeah, no, 2 vultures and then tank, and then second factory and instant add-on, and that allowed him to get the 4 tanks. Just a very different take. So very cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.